4chan may just be the internet's most infamous website, with them creating some of the most popular trends ever to grace the web. But with that, the image board also hosts some of the most twisted minds in the entire world. And with that, I want to share with you today my picks for the top 10 4chan pranks. Habbo is an online website similar to Club Penguin that allows registered members to create their own virtual character, then design their own room, meet new friends, chat with other players, and hang out in the game's world. Since this game is known for having a younger audience of players, members of 4chan thought it would be a great community to mess with. Members of 4chan's random board started to coordinate raids on Habbo, where all the members would create black avatars, wearing business suits and sporting afros, then would proceed to stand in the form of swastikas and block swimming pool entrances, leading to the popular slogan, "Pools Closed," which became attributed to these raids. This became such a problem for Habbo that they actually banned players from having an afro and suit combo, in hopes of slowing down on the raiding of their servers, but this was only the start. Soon after, signs started to appear reading "Pools Closed" at real-life swimming pools around the world, with one woman, thinking it was a personal attack against her children, contacting local news stations to report on the alleged racism against her family.
This is what you saw. I don't know how long it was there.
It was hanging above the other signs. It shows a black man with a large afro and the words "Pool Closed."
My 6-year-old and 8-year-old half-black grandchildren are not welcome in my subdivision's pool by someone or some persons that live here.
Unsurprisingly, this led to 4chaners getting a hold of her phone number, some to call her dumb, but others who actually tried to explain that this was an inside joke and wasn't meant to be an attack on her family. Taylor Swift may just be the most popular, successful, and influential musician creating pop music currently, and because of that she makes herself a perfect target for 4chan's wrath. I'm going to break the rules a little bit and include 2 different incidents on the number 9 slot since both involve Taylor. Firstly, in 2012 there was a contest being held on Facebook, in which Taylor Swift would perform a live concert to the school who received the most votes. When users of 4chan found out, they rallied for everyone to vote the Horace Mann School in Boston, Massachusetts to win, and their scheme worked with them coming in first place. Now you may have to ask yourself why they wanted Horace Mann to win the live concert. Well, maybe because of the fact that it's a school for the deaf. A year later, a radio station was holding a contest that would give one lucky fan of Taylor Swift the opportunity to meet her in person. While most of the entries were from teenage girls, there was also a creepy 39-year-old man that went by the name of Charles Z, who just so happened to be pushed up to the first place spot by members of a certain website. Shortly after this, the contest was cancelled before poor Charlie got a chance to meet his idol. While 4chan and the hacker group Anonymous are infamous for hacking and crashing websites of various groups or people that they don't enjoy, one of the best examples of this has to be Project Chanology, which was directed towards Scientology. While people have many different reasons for being against Ron L. Hubbard's organization, Anonymous and 4chan became enraged all the way back in 2008, when videos about Scientology were taken down from YouTube by the organization, enraging many who were against such internet censorship. This led to them crashing Scientologist's official website and protests in front of the organization's headquarters. This makes it one of the earliest cases of this level of coordination in the site's history. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a popular 90s sitcom starring a young Will Smith, involving the story of his character getting in one little fight and his mom getting scared, causing him to move in with his uncle and auntie in Bel-Air, as the show's theme song states. Years after the show left TV, members of 4chan started a running gag where they begin telling a serious story, only to end fully breaking out in the plotline of the television show. While the joke was simple enough, people started to up their game by creating serious multi-paragraph stories on Facebook, only to break out into the lyrics of the theme song in the last sentence. Next, they took aim at radio and talk shows that allowed people to call in.
But then one day, a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my living area. I ended up getting into a fight, which terrified my mother. As a result, she sent me away from West Philadelphia to the most peaceful area of Bel-Air.
They'd string the hosts along for sometimes minutes at a time, making the punchline even more funny. While the gag is getting close to 10 years old at this point, it's still one of my personal favorites. Similar to the stunt of getting Taylor Swift to sing for the deaf, the rapper Pitbull held a contest through Walmart where the city with the most votes would win a concert, and I think you could see where I'm going with this. You see, in the song Give Me Everything Tonight, Pitbull, the lyrical genius he is, rhymes the word Kodak with Kodak. With this as ammunition, many started voting up the small town of Kodiak, Alaska, which had a population of 6,100, to the #1 spot in Walmart's competition. While Taylor may have scoffed off the high school that won her contest, Pitbull actually went through with his side of the deal and put on a show for the small Alaskan town to the pleasant surprise of the locals. Very well played, Pitbull, aka Mr. 305, aka Mr. Worldwide, aka Armando Christian Perez. Time's Person of the Year issue is a staple to the magazine's long history, with a slew of people gaining the honor, including Bill Clinton, Mark Zuckerberg, the Pope, and even myself. But in 2012, they decided to leave it up to the internet by having a poll on who should win, because if you haven't realized yet, this always turns out wonderfully. So the winner of Time's Person of the Year is none other than the dictator of North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Who would have guessed? Of course, the people at Time decided not to go with the online poll and instead selected the safer choice of Barack Obama. If you haven't realized it by now, 4chan is pretty screwed up, so when they do screwed up things, it shouldn't come to a surprise to anyone. This leads into the pictures of the pop star Justin Bieber smoking weed that leaked a few years back. While a story like this usually makes its way around the covers of tabloids before blowing over, a user of 4chan had an idea of causing even more of an uproar. While I could describe the scheme myself, instead I'll directly quote the original post. Let's start a Cut Yourself for Bieber campaign. Tweet a bunch of pics of people cutting themselves and claim we did it because Bieber was smoking weed. Of course, other 4chaners thought this was an incredible idea and started up several fake Twitter accounts using the hashtag #CuttingForBieber. Soon after, things picked up even more steam when the hashtag started trending. Then news stations and other media outlets picked up on the story without doing any research on if it was legitimate or not. If there's one thing we can take from this incident, it's that you should never, ever trust anything you hear on the internet, or any other media outlet for that matter. For those who don't know, the phrase "it's over 9,000" originates as a poorly dubbed line in the Japanese anime Dragon Ball Z, before internet users started using it as a synonym for a lot or many. While you could expect this slang to be used on the internet or even in Pokemon, the last person you'd expect the term over 9,000 to come out of their mouth would probably be Oprah Winfrey, but that's exactly what one troll was able to do in 2008.
Understand what our children are up against. Let me read you something that was posted on our message boards from someone who claims to be a member of a known pedophile network. It said this: he doesn't forgive, he does not forget, his group has over 9,000 penises, and they're all raping children.
It's amazing that with a show that staffs hundreds of people, not a single censor along the way was able to pick up on this blatant troll before it reached the airwaves. While there's no way of assuring that a 4chaner pulled this stunt, I'm going to just assume it was. Out of all the internet contests and all the schemes 4chan has come up with when the opportunity has arisen, none of them even come close to the now infamous Dub the Dew fiasco. In 2012, Mountain Dew was planning the release of their new green apple flavored beverage, but decided to have a poll on what the name of this beverage would be. The contest gave participants full control on what they wanted to submit, while others could vote on their favorites. When word got out, users of 4chan started to campaign for their submissions and why others should vote for them, soon flooding the contest with name ideas. At the end of the competition, the top voted list was filled with unique names such as Diabetes, Soda, and Moist Nugget, but the winner and highest voted name for the new Mountain Dew flavor was Hitler Did Nothing Wrong. Soon after, the website was shut down with no word on when we'll see Hitler Did Nothing Wrong hit store shelves. But even if it never makes it to retail, the internet will always remember the time Mountain Dew tried holding a contest. In 2010, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic premiered on the Hub Network in hopes that it would bring in a new generation of viewers to enjoy the toy line. Created by Lauren Faust, who also created Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, the show follows along in the adventures of a group of ponies in the land of Equestria, with the show being praised for its clever writing and quality animation for a children's show. Shortly after the show's release, many 4chaners started jokingly posting memes and other images from the show on the random board, quickly picking up the phrase brony to describe users posting these images. What originally started as an inside joke soon spread, with others out of the loop starting to watch the show unironically and becoming fans, leading to the massive adult fan base the show has today. While many of the other pranks mentioned on this list quickly became attributed to 4chan, causing people to move on, the brony fandom of full-grown men watching My Little Pony became a phenomenon, which all started because of a joke on 4chan. Now don't get me wrong, Friendship is Magic is very well made and holds up to Foss other shows, but it's crazy to think the popularity it has received from adult men is all thanks to an inside joke on 4chan. Well, there you have my picks for the top 10 4chan pranks, and if you have any others I didn't mention on this list, please feel free to leave them in a comment below. So until next time, thanks for watching.